we have Courage assistant coach Nathan Thackeray. The Courage 2 wins in the last 2. Head into a home game for the first time in a month as they welcome Orlando Pride this week. Coach, you bounced back nicely from that loss in Kansas City. A really strong win against Chicago and then a nice comeback win from Washington. Give us kind of the state of the team right now here as we head into the first home game in a very long time.
Yeah, it will be nice to head home for sure. Team's in a good way. Morale's high, good collective ethos, all pushing in the right direction. Important that we stay grounded. 2 wins doesn't make us the best team in the world, so we have to stay grounded and have to continue to develop. But two good results. One fantastic performance. One what I would consider sort of subpar, good in moments, which was obviously the Challenge Cup game this past Wednesday. So, but overall, we're in good way, good shape.
What did it do for this team to see 5 go into the back of the net? A lot of the talk has been about everything's good until the final third. So to see that last piece come together, what did that do for this team?
I mean, it just shows that there's proof that we can do it, and they know they can do it. It was just how do we take what we've been working on in training and adapting that to the game. And for the first time, I think we got a good blend of work ethic mixed with quality on the field, and it helps. We've freshened some things up, and the players that got given a chance made a difference. So they know they can do it. We know they can do it. It was just all about how they applied sort of the teaching that we've put in training to the game. And for the first time, I thought this season where we looked sort of ruthless in the final third. Added on top of the fact that we've been great in possession as well in most of the other games. So, yeah, finally got it all coming together, which was good.
Turn it over to questions.
Nathan, you're obviously the goalkeeper coach as well. How would you assess your group of goalkeepers at this point in the season? Obviously, you had 2 goalkeepers start the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about their progress and their cohesion as a group so far this year?
Yeah, I could be biased, but well, I definitely am. But I could say I think we've got the best collective group of goalkeepers from top to bottom in the league. There's not a huge disparity in quality from the number 1 to the number 4. So that for me is, and Casey Murphy's national team goalkeeper. So that's pretty good to have. I think we've done a really good job managing them and so that they understand what their role is. So there's no animosity. There's full support, whether you're the 3 or the 2. They know what their role is, and they've been able to fulfil that role and help Casey get the best out of herself. And then when the opportunities have come for Caitlin, she's been able to step in and done a decent job. So, but the group together collectively just tremendous, full of support, full of backing, full of hard work, open to learning and increasing their quality. So I've been really pleased with the 4 that we have this year. Really pleased, yeah.
What were your thoughts on Frankly Tagliafieri's performance, and how do you think she's getting on in training?
I think she's been chomping at the bit for that chance. She's been very, very close, and I think unfortunately for her, we have really good midfielders, and we'd gone on a run of games where we were playing well and winning games, and I think it's that opportunity for her has been coming. In all honesty, I thought the first half she was relatively poor. Not all her fault. I think it was we couldn't get the ball to her. We couldn't keep the ball long enough for her to find areas to pick the ball up and be creative and be successful. You saw that when we made the change and we brought Narumi on. Narumi could dictate the tempo of the game a little bit better, and Frankie was able to find some unbelievable spots of final passes, 2 or 3 of them that created problems. I think Britt's goal, fantastic pass. She played another ball over the top for Britt in the 1v1, which Barnhart saved, and then she played another crossfield ball that got us in behind. I think it was to Wingate later in the game, and I think she just grew with confidence. She came off, and I think she's just full of belief, and that's where we need her to be. She can't be anything less than fully sure that she can do it at this level, and she can do it at this level. So, a bit of a mixed performance in her game, I thought, but I think the more opportunity we get to give her on the ball, which was the second half, the better she became as she grew into the game. But the first half, I thought she was searching for the game a little bit and wasn't at her best. But that's nerves as well, She's not started too many games as an NC Courage player, but I think she's right there pushing hard. So I'm excited for her.
Last year's team, very veteran team. This year, are you surprised at how this year's team has kind of come together so quickly?
No, No, I'm not. That was the plan. We needed to make a few changes and increase the belief in each other and push a group forward with a new style of play. And I think that the group has bought into the style of play. And I think sometimes you need some new faces and some young people to come in and say, yeah, you know what, I'm fully behind this, and they are. I think from top to bottom, everybody is involved and wants to push this and wants to improve on our style and be different to the rest of the league too in some standards. So no, I'm not surprised. I really am not that they've bought into it. I might say that maybe there's some surprise with how quickly the quality's got there. Yes, but the buy-in, no, I'm not at all. Because there's been strategic with how we've put this team together. We wanted good people, we wanted good personalities, and we wanted people that were willing to learn and come in with an open mindset of saying, yeah, we want to do this, we want to be the best at doing it. So
From a coaching standpoint, it has to be very satisfying.
it makes our jobs easy. Yeah, for sure. Well, it makes my job easy. I'm not the head coach, so I don't have the pressure. I felt it last week, so I don't have it too much anymore. So it makes our job easy. I'm just jesting, but yeah.
When you mentioned you want this team to continue being grounded, when you find the success that you guys had on the road the last month, how do you kind of tell them like, hey, we're doing great, but like keep this going when you guys have your first home game in front of your own fans in such a long time?
Yeah, we want them to be grounded with the way that they maintain their standards and their discipline and not getting too ahead of themselves and thinking that early success means just success. It doesn't. Early success means that we keep producing and we keep pushing our expectations for them, and that's where it's the day-to-day interactions with them, how we run training sessions and the standards that we keep from within. That's how we keep them grounded. We keep them focused on the task and the progress of the team rather than the results of the team. Because ultimately we can be satisfied saying, oh, we won 2-1 against Washington in the Challenge Cup, but in all honesty, we weren't satisfied with the performance. The performance just wasn't good enough for large portions of the game. It's great that we can win and take the momentum, but that we walk away there knowing at half time we weren't good enough. So they knew that their standards and didn't meet our expectations, and that they needed to push on. So I think just the message that we continue to give them day in, day out helps them stay a little bit grounded. But don't get me wrong, I don't want to take away confidence, because that is huge for them, and they deserve to have confidence and they deserve to have belief and momentum moving into this weekend's game. And I think any team that comes here needs to be going, oh my goodness, this North Carolina Courage team are really pushing things and going in the right direction. So full of confidence, full of belief, but at the same time we've got to stay true to who we are. So
How much of that message do you hear within the team itself, not just coming from you and your coaching staff?
Yeah, I think it's actually led by the team more so than the coaching staff. You look at the leadership that we've put together and the leadership group that we have in the locker room, and they're all the same. They all want to keep standards and don't let anyone. I mean, we had, I don't know if you're out on the training field, we had a set pieces that were a little bit under par, and it took me to say something as well, but within it, I don't know if you guys could hear it, but the team were also saying to each other, it's got to be better, we've got to do this better, and that's led by the leadership. So from Denise O'Sullivan, Meredith Speck, Kaylee Kurtz, Brittany Radcliffe, all those players that are seen as leaders in the locker room, they push the standards more than we do, to be honest, which is great for any team.
Victoria, anything from Zoom?
Sure. You're going up against an Orlando team that's kind of in fits and starts, trying to find their form as well. What are your thoughts leading into the game on Saturday?
Yeah, I think they're a really good team actually. I think they can cause massive problems. We saw it against Portland, and a top team going there and really struggling against them. They've adapted themselves a little bit, and I think Seb's done well to realise that it can't all be the glitz and glam of the best brand of football ever, and I think he's made them hard to break down and hard to beat. He's made them really difficult to defend in transition, which is great. They have phenomenal players and phenomenal athletes at the front end of the field, which is helpful. And then they've got a couple of players that are of world-class talent in Adriana and Marta. So I think they've done well. I think they're going to be a difficult team for any team to play against, and I think we'll see them come in and potentially sit off the ball a little bit and sit a little bit deeper and try and catch us in transition with some of the pace that they've got up front. But they're doing a great job, and I think they're a good quality team.
And then following up on an earlier question, how important is it that the training staff, the coaching staff models that cohesion and consistency for the players so that they can carry that into their training?
Ultimately, we work with people, right? So I think consistency in our personalities and our day-to-day interactions with the team is critical. Sean's done a good job, and the club have done a good job of compiling a staff that are relatively balanced with their personalities. Not too many of them deviate away from their regular selves on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot of high-energy people in the coaching staff. I should say technical staff and backroom staff, high energy everywhere, so that when players come in, they're always seeing a regular happy face. It just helps them to be a little bit more comfortable in their working environment as well. So, yeah, I think the club and Sean have done a good job of compiling a really positive, well-balanced staff. Yeah, and it is extremely important to the group that they know coming in every single day what to expect.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck Saturday.
Thanks, Victoria.
Alicia, follow.
Nathan, you mentioned earlier the pressure of being the head coach. You filled in a couple times. Do you have aspirations in the future to become a head coach yourself?
It's funny because if you'd have asked me 12 months ago, I mean, the first time round, the Washington game was actually June 12th, I think it was last year. If you'd have asked me the week leading up to that, I would have said no. I thoroughly enjoy my mini culture that I get to work in with the goalkeepers on a day-to-day basis. But the more I've worked with Sean and the more I've become sort of more of an assistant coach over the last couple of years, and been in charge of a lot of the out-of-possession stuff. So I do everything defensively with the team. But yeah, it's made me think and feel a little bit differently about the role. I have enjoyed it both times. But it's a sample size. The body of work of being a head coach is over a full season and plus, and with the sample sizes and having success at each end of the weeks have been great. Like, don't get me wrong, but I am not naive enough to know that it's a really tough job, and the pressure of being in that position and just picking the team and picking the squad, like that alone is pressure. But never mind if we drop points and stuff like that. I think I would have felt a lot differently on Wednesday night if we'd have lost 1-0 rather than winning 2-1. So yeah, I think at some stage I would be excited to give it a go. I'm not putting myself in the shop window just yet, to be honest, but yeah, no, I think maybe in the next year or two, I think I'd probably say let's have a little look at it. But right now, I'm happy in the role that I'm in. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Nathan, since we only get you once a year, I got to ask, anyone that follows you on social media has seen you scare Mary Speck, have some great pranks. Do you have a favorite prank that you pulled on a player that you can share with the
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of good ones. I'm big. I like the scary stuff, and I just like getting the players. We actually have on the back field that we go up to here. There's a bush that's right outside the entrance as we walk in, and there's a perfect little hiding spot that goes in there. And occasionally, I'll be hidden that bush, and when the players walk around the corner, I'll jump out, and it seems to get them every time. And so much so that I watched Caitlin Rowland. I was on the field today, waiting for the players to come on the field. And Caitlin Rowland walks around the corner, and instead of walking straight through the gate, she looks around just to make sure I'm not there. So yeah, I think that's the best one. But I'm still waiting for Kero. Kero thinks she's going to get me and scare me, and they all try. No one's been successful yet. So whilst they keep going at me, I'll keep going at them.
Well, they're learning your behavior, Coach. Thanks so much for your time. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.